I always felt what has kept me inspired, what has kept me going, and something that you can add to your journey is the reason that you're doing this has to be bigger than yourself. The reason has to be bigger than the actual goal. That sounds kind of weird in a sense, but once I really started to think about, yeah, I can say I'm disciplined all day long and this and that and staying uncomfortable. Okay, but let's go deeper. Like I need to know what is that thing that's keeping me just wanting to just not throw in the towel, not to give up. I was really, I have these inner monologues and these deep conversations with myself because this has been, in a way, like my teaching. This has been how I have my little epiphanies. What I realized and what I switched was what gets me inspired isn't the goal itself. The goal is the goal. Like whatever your goal is, whatever industry, whatever part of your life, that's fine, right? And yes, I have plenty of goals, astronomical goals, and I'm knocking them all out. But I was starting to really think about it because every time I would hit that goal, yeah, okay, cool. It feels okay. And then a couple minutes later, it's just, I feel flat. And it's like, well, what's the next goal? Or how can we do it better? Or what could I have done better? Or what did I do wrong? I realized more and more that I'm not so much attached to the goal itself, but I'm attached to the hustle to get to the goal. I really feel I'm attached to that grind to get there, that puzzle, because it's all, at the end of the day, all of this is just one big puzzle, one big game. And we're trying to just figure it out and add more pieces to the puzzle and equip ourselves with the tools to figure it out. And I realized I'm attracted to the puzzle. I'm attracted to, let's figure this out. How am I going to figure this out? I see what I got my goal. I know what I want to do. Now let's get there. And then staying on that grind, staying on that journey, whatever you want to call it. But I'm attaching my connection, my inspiration isn't to that thing. And that's why I'm able to detach from, these materialistic things because I'm not, it's not solely focused on attaining it. It's what did I learn along the way, the setbacks, all of it. And I know it sounds almost in a way cliche, say, oh, you got to embrace the problems and the problems is where you get the lessons. But for me, it's damn near been my school. It has been my teaching. The ups, the downs, the screwing up, all of it. The biggest changes in my life happened when the biggest setbacks happened, or losing my mother, and the thing that I dreaded the most, things that I was like, man, how am I going to get through this, has been on the other side of it some of the greatest lessons, and most will not experience it or get it. And that's been a superpower. That's been an advantage of mine. Now, mind you, along the way, yeah, it's crazy. Along the way, you're like, why me? And I've been through all of that. But yet, once I do make it out, it's like that feeling, that rush of, man, you went through all of it. And hey, you're still here. So I share that with you guys because I scream, make the goals big, and we've seen all the videos. I don't have to say it over and over. And yes, it should be. It should be this grand, borderline crazy goal. All of mine has been. Well, it started off small, and I'm like, no, I want to test myself. I want to set the bar even higher. And things that I've wanted to attain, I wrote them down. And if I was to explain to someone, yeah, they would think it was crazy. I mean, technically, when I wanted these things, I thought it was crazy. I thought it would not be able to happen. But it did. Things that I thought would never happen to me from a negative perspective. My worst nightmare, it happened. So that's why I feel anything is possible, because I've experienced it on the good side and on the bad side. And they've both taught me massive lessons about myself, people, life, what's capable, what's possible. The word impossible is it doesn't have as much weight, because things that I thought, oh, that's impossible, it couldn't happen to me. Well, it did. So instead of, for a while, just, letting it get to me, bringing me down, all of that. And guys, I'm talking about, 10, 15 years ago, when I didn't know what this is, like what all of this is for. And we're still learning. I mean, you're never going to stop learning. You're still going to constantly figure out new things and new parts of who you are and what you like, what you don't like. But I started to realize, once I made it through, that reward for me wasn't actually the goal at the end of the day. It's knowing that I can go through this freaking fire. I went through this fire. I went through all of this. And yeah, I got some bumps and bruises and scars, but I made it out, and damn, I feel even more powerful. And sometimes I know I needed that. I needed to see, well, who the hell am I? Yeah, I say I want these things, this and that, but it's like, okay. And for any of you, like, who are you? Are you truly who you say you are? And you really don't learn those things and figure those things out about yourself and your capability, how far you can push, until you're in situations where your back is against the wall, or in your situations where it's like, oh, okay, we have to really lock in and let's get to work. In whatever part of your life, whatever you're trying to do. But I realized the goal, once I got it, it's like, yeah, it's just a receipt. It's just confirmation that, oh, okay. Oh yeah. I'm getting stronger and stronger. I'm becoming more bulletproof. This skin is getting thicker. My mind is just getting stronger. I'm just getting that's what the road teaches me, or exposes me. Exposes areas of me where it's like, oh, you need to work on this. Oh, you're soft here. And I'll be honest, I think everyone has to go through that. And it might be something that truly, truly triggers you and tests you and is really going to put you through the test to really, really see. And I'm speaking from experience. And we'll be going through more tests and more, because the other side, well, not the other side, but I also realize that's how I stay hungry and curious, and I just wonder what I'm capable of, wonder what's next, what could you do more? I've talked about this recently in videos where we need to get back to being curious about the world, curious about ourselves, curious about what we like, growing as an individual. I haven't lost that. I did for a while. And I realized, no, that curiosity, it's part of why I'm obsessed with the journey. Because any room that I walk into with a goal in mind, or wherever I go, it doesn't even matter where I go, I'm walking in there with a certain level of confidence, because I've been through the storm, I've weathered the storm, and whatever is going to be thrown at me, you know what, it might suck, whatever. I've handled it. I've handled worse. I've gotten through it. How long it takes, I don't know, but I'm here. If I need to get it done, we'll get it done. I don't care. And I feel many people out there, they need to go through that to make themselves more bulletproof, to make their mind more callous, like Goggins would say. I think it's really necessary. And it's not going to come from when things are just sweet. It's not going to come from, okay, yeah, you hit the goal, but cool, great. Now what, do we rest on that? That's why I just never, it's a gift and a curse, I think, also, where I haven't taken time just to kind of see, well, let's take a look at what you have accomplished. It's like, okay, cool, on to the next. Because I feel I'm not done, nor will I ever be done. I don't know. Because I'm always going to want, as far as I could see, just want to push a little bit more. And push could be just, a new challenge, a new endeavor, a new industry, all of those things. And that's how, all of these things that I got involved in, it was new at one point. Jiu-jitsu was new at one point. Real estate was new at one point. These cameras were new at one point. Traveling was new for me. I didn't have a pass, all of these things. Whatever you guys are trying to attain or building, it was new for you at one point, and now you're in it, or you fell off, and this and that. But it's that journey along the way. I guess that's why, I've always been into, just we're going to go off on a tangent here. let me have a little bit of this coffee. I think that's why I've always been interested in like samurais and that culture, because they were always in a state of like just learning and crafting and perfecting. And, there's no such thing as perfection. We're never going to get there, but it's like they were just always on this everlasting quest of just growth and improvement. And I just connect with that. I really, really do. Especially when, I don't come from Ivy League schools and all of this. My teachings have been my schooling has been, I'm just out there, like failing miserably, and learning along the way. It's been my greatest lessons. And I'll put it up against anybody's, Ivy League school, because it's so unique and it's so powerful. I know what it can do. And then on top of that, when you do have that mindset about it, and then you do go after that goal, you're working at a certain level in a certain capacity that a lot of people will not be able to handle. And you have a certain level of confidence. I know I do, because it's like, I've weathered storms, and I'm willing to weather whatever storm this is. And if we're in a competitive setting, I'm a highly competitive person, if you guys don't know. It's like, all right, well, I'm here too. And we're going to just see what happens. But just know, if this is going to be a marathon, I'm going to be in this for quite a while. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. This was a very random, I was like, and that's the beauty of like with me and these cameras. I could set it up, go edit it, color grade it, and put it out there. So I don't know, side note. But anyway, be curious, get out there, get on the journey, try. All these things I'm saying to you, I'm saying to myself, and easier said than done. And it took a while for me to truly embrace it and understand. And this is going to sound crazy. It sounds crazy to me, but it's so true. It's so interesting. And as much as, some of the things that I could say it sucked and it was difficult, it was hard, it was this, it was that. Yes, absolutely. And I've said it before, but would I change any of it? No. Was it probably necessary for me? Yes. Because like I said, the greatest switch, and it's like, when the level up, when the battery pack was put on me, and I was just like, I see it, I get it. When I had the biggest changes, awakening, was during the biggest trouble, when it was it was I'm trying to think of a word, and like I said, it's like I don't have the vocabulary to put it into words. It's like at the greatest lows, and man, when I'm in the greatest lows, it was low, and it's tough, and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, and this is, but getting out of it, and then looking back at it, and looking how it changed and what it did for me, absolutely necessary. It's crazy. So hopefully you guys can pull something from that and apply it to what you guys got going on. And we got more on the way. Let's go.